Testing, can you guys hear me? I'm going to use my telepathic mic. That's correct. Is the audio there? Let me know real quick, because as I pressed live, everything, the soundboard just went dead. I don't know what happened there. But is it working? Let me know before I start. Yes, Renee says it's working. Thanks. Okay, cool. Hey, that's the thing about going live. I had a nice opening line, prepared for you guys, and that all went to shit. That's life. That's trading, actually, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, so let's take it from there. And so let's get going. There's about 50 people joining in live. I think everybody in the European or the Northern Hemisphere have now adjusted their timelines and time zones as well, because daylight savings is ended. Correct? Ended for you guys. And there we go. Okay, so all is good. All is good. Now it is. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about what I wanted to talk to you guys in the first place. Bitcoin is pushing up to 85. Here's why. And the whole argument is that this is moving into our sell zone. So yesterday we had a little, while I was actually on YouTube in the afternoon, we had a little pump and tag. So according to this screen, you should already be in the short, but I'm going to then just move it with you guys because that's BS. I didn't take it. Neither did you guys. Nobody's taking it. Okay. John says it's 7 p.m. down under. Yes, buddy. Your day is almost done, and mine is not even started. So things can sometimes, crypto never sleeps. That's a good testament. That's why I'm up 4 a.m. in the morning with everybody in the Discord, telling them move stops to break even. And this was like what? 10 p.m. last night. This was when was this one? Oh, come on, give me time. 6 a.m. This was 3:50 a.m. So yeah, I'm busy, buddy. Crypto never sleeps. Okay, guys. So we're in a long, moving to 85. Let's talk about that real quick. Okay. Who of you guys took the long in the Discord with me? Let me know. You don't need to do a lot. Just say, I'm in the long. Or if you're not in the long, I know, Liesel, you need to write the following. I'm in the short. So if you're in the short or waiting for the short, that's also okay. So let me know who's in the long with me. And then I want to talk you guys through this specific long. So let's get into this. So the basis on the long, if I were to zoom out, I'm going to use my trading panel, not the YouTube panel. So if it looks a little bit more, a lot more lines, a little bit more technical, guys, I'm a technical trader, so you need to understand that when I do this and give you guys these setups, there's a lot of thought that goes behind that. It's not just me sucking the stuff out. So if it feels like it's a little overwhelming, don't worry, I'm going to get back to this and I'll just mark it out on this, just to give you guys a really good idea of where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to do the following. This is a typical market tactic. So I start off with the weekly time frame. I do a little bit of a report there for the guys. And the basis is that if Bitcoin wants to go and make a higher high on the weekly, we've got two distinct areas with price need to go. 88,000, then I'm bullish as hell, okay? Then I'll swing long again, okay? And a nice buy zone for that would be at around 78,000. So it means that it's very vague on the weekly, and the weekly doesn't have, even if I bring in the RSI, any real bottom or top signal. So it's just kind of mid-range. So it's choppy. You cannot predict chop. It's random. Okay, so it's just going to be whoever buys and then whoever gets shaken out, and that's the weekly time frame. Now, if we move this over and we have a look at the daily time frame, just to kind of get a handle on this, the whole idea is that we wanted to see whether this daily, if we can get above the previous day doji, if we can get above this point, 83,800, this long is going to run. It's going to run into our imbalance, and that's at 85. So all the short traders that were smart enough to take the short there, this is where they're going to want to reload for the next leg down. And that's why I want to wait and why I'm bullish short term, scalp long basically, in order to swing short still. Because the weekly is nowhere at the moment, and the daily is telling me that there is a demand zone test that's going to be sitting at 78. And if the market really wants to hurt a lot of people, let's flush all these longs out. Everybody that was brave enough to buy the dip, let's just get them out by going there and selling down even further. And that's what I'm waiting for. Now, the scalp sell short that I marked out here is on the basis that if we were to zoom into smaller timeframes, going to the 4-hour timeframe, the argument was that I wanted to see whether there's a little bit of a reaction. Now, that scalp zone would be that scalp short idea that I had kind of marked out on the daily, was on the basis that we wick there at 83.8 and come right back down, because we know that nothing goes to a specific area in a straight line. If it does, when you have straight lines like this, okay, it's going to almost always implode back on itself. When it's fast, it won't last. So I'm betting on the fact that, that was too fast, but I didn't get that short. I was with you guys on YouTube, so I kind of just missed the bus there. I see Peter has joined in live as well. Peter is in the background. Hey, geez, that guy's all suited up, looking all snazzy there in the background. Peter, I need to up my dress code here. Maybe I'm not looking professional enough these days. So, yeah, if you guys can only see how fancy this guy looks.
All right.
Fancy as hell. Okay. So let's move on. Okay, so the 4-hour, we want to try and get to that 85 because that's where the imbalance on the daily lies. That's where the bearish trend could resume. And so what we did yesterday in the Discord is I basically marked out the buy zone, waited for the high. This was at around 10 p.m., when we really got the entry. And it's based on hidden bullish divergence. And I said this many times. If you want to learn to trade, okay, do yourself a solid and stop trying to pick bottoms and tops. Now, it's hard because that's what traders want to do. We want to get in low, sell high. Wait for hidden. Learn how to trade hidden bullish divergence. Because when there's a market of uncertainty, meaning we're not trending strong bullish, you wait for your hidden bullish divergence because at least you know the trend has been established. So now you can sit in, and which means that this was the area we bought. I'm not raving about this buy zone because I had my invalidation down here at 81,400 something. So it's not like I'm highly leveraged, coining it and printing money like crazy at the moment, but I'm making consistent gains. And remember, this is the Trade for a Living podcast. You're not trading to retire next week. You're trading for a living. So every $1,000 I make every day just goes to the side. I can buy my DCA coins. I can live off this and. So those are the beauty. The beauty about trading. The market's your ATM. And then for the rest of the day, once the trade's in like this, it's a really good locked in day. We're running with momentum. I can sit back, relax, watch my exchange, see how the money is ticking into my account, and wait for my short. And this is the next setup. So now I'm going to slim this or simplify this whole thing back down, and I'm going to go to this chart setup that you guys are used to. Okay, and we're going to talk about the short. Before I do that, over to the comments real quick. There's a lot more excitement, a lot more buzz in the market, or maybe it's just because I didn't have a mic in the beginning, Norman, good morning to you, my friend. Yuto, good morning. Guys, let me know what you're trading. Are you trading Bitcoin? Do you like to trade a different alt, perhaps? Let me know in the comments real quick, because maybe I'll have a little bit of time to look at that. We're only 9 minutes in. I've got a few more minutes of your time, I believe. Okay. Yeah, I've used my telepathic mic, I think. Let's see what else we have. Yuto, I didn't like the 4-hour close, so I got sheepish. Look, a trader should never be sheepish, Yuto. Your opinion doesn't matter. Staring at candles don't make them grow. What's all those sayings? There's a lot of them. Give me a couple of yours. What do you use to kind of just keep yourself level-headed? So that's me. I take the entry, put the stop, and bugger off, because looking at it doesn't change anything, and so forth. So I see I'm in super. So there's a lot of guys going in on super at the moment. So maybe we can throw a lazy eye on super while we at it. Peter has a job interview. Crypto not making it happen. I doubt that that's a McDonald's uniform, my friend. He's actually meeting with some sort of politician at the moment. I've got it in WhatsApp here. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it on YouTube, Peter. But the guy's got some serious side hustle going on there, I have to say. So don't discount this. We've got a celebrity in the background there, a Slovenian celebrity. I'm telling you. Okay, let's see. Renee saying, are they Bitcoin daily bullish, divergence on higher low, though shall not cross line, is still to cross. Yeah, look, let's look at this. I'm going to stick to this chart now, and let's talk about this. When I bring in the RSI, and jokes aside now, we're trading, so the daily, the weekly, those are sentiments. The 4 hours where your attention needs to be at for now. When we look at this from the 4 hour point of view, where is our divergence? Where did divergence start? Okay, so divergence started here. We made a low, we made a lower low in price, we made a higher low. A lower low in price, we made a higher low on the RSI. So it's telling you that the amount of buying versus the gains to the bear. Well, scratch that. Let me start again. So think of it like this. If there's, for every buy, there has to be a seller. The question that we need to ask ourselves is it one seller selling a warehouse full of Bitcoin to 1 million buyers, or is it 1 million sellers selling their 0.001 of a Bitcoin to one buyer? Because that's the informed buyer versus the uninformed. And that's what the RSI basically points out when it's moving from one direction. So mathematically, it's telling you that there's an imbalance in the market. There's a lot of volume, big orders, faced with a lot of small orders. So by that definition, it doesn't guarantee whether there's going to be a reversal or not, but it gives you a good opportunity. Is it smart money buying versus stupid money buying? That's what I use the RSI for, and that's how I think about it. I might be wrong, but it's working for me. Okay, and so when you have divergence, the argument is that there's a sea of little orders going out, but a few guys gobbling up those orders. That's why the RSI is not supporting the price by making another lower low. Means the amount of buyers versus the amount of sellers in people or in wallets or in transactions aren't the same. So there will be a big limit order gobbling up a lot of market executed sell orders, that kind of thing. Okay. So this is a 4 hour pivot that I would suggest is significant for me, because it's at that stage when this started happening. Up till there, we still had harmony. Lower low, higher low, that kind of thing. So the market is just being the market. But at this stage, new energy started kicking in. Big money started stepping in. And from that point onwards, as the market always does, it creates opportunities for us to sell. That's why we shorted. Why? Because that big money that kind of grabbed it at this stage started offloading again, just as a lot of small wallets started getting excited and buying. Hence the fact that you can see that big money was in control. Higher high, lower high. And that's all what the RSI is basically pointing to you. So it's telling you, hey, listen, big guys and whales are selling. You should consider doing the same. And we had the sell-off again. And at this stage, what did we do? We made yet another lower low with another divergence pivot. Another strong bullish divergence. And that is why I started humoring the idea that we need to consider going long. Because with this divergence, the market obviously rejected the previous pivot. It's a no-brainer that it's going to do that. All this buying, these guys still want to offload what they couldn't offload there, and they will add to their position. And this is where we're at now. So we're on the 4 hour. So I gave you guys the short. And although we celebrated, we took it on a 15-minute in the Discord, 4 hours for you guys. So it's maybe not as lucrative at where it's at now, but we're celebrating that because the market is yet again at that stage had bearish divergence, a continuation of trend. And now this move is pushing back up to do the following. Have a look at this point here and have a look at where price is. So I'm going to mark this out with a vertical line. And I want to show you guys how you can use this to spot your own divergence. Hidden bearish divergence. There's the pivot. The market was holding on support and then sold off. Holding on price, sold off. Great. Okay. Now we're pushing back up. There is a trend line running there. Now, retail loves trend lines. Everybody, this is another one of those trading wisdoms, trading truths. Everybody gets to be right occasionally for them to be wrong consistently. So it could be one of those cases again where, you see, it's just going to tag the line and then drop like it did there. Who's to say? Okay. And what will support that for me and why I believe that the sell zone is going to come and kick in good is at that stage, your RSI is going to be filled again. It's not there yet. It's going to be filled again with a lot of FOMO buyers meeting up with a lot of big whale sellers offloading a position or taking up short positions, which is the same way on the paper side of Bitcoin, giving us yet again another hidden bearish divergence for the move back down. Remember, this entry was generated on the 4-hour time frame, and the take profit for that, TP1 for that, is only 70. Where? 73, 72. That's TP1 for this trade. So this 4-hour, it's fair to assume that it's going to go there, go there, go there, and then only reach that. So there's still a lot of time still. And the fact that it takes longer now for Bitcoin to make probably even lower low, but less significant lower low, will then also prove to me at that stage that I can be bullish swing long term because of the fact that the market is not really beneficial to the bears anymore. So anybody worth their salt in big money trading volumes will look at this and say, well, it's time to switch sides. Simple as that. So there's your here's why, guys. There's your alert. You know what to do. You know where you're at. Let's quickly have a look at one of your coins, and then we're going to end off the stream. Are you guys happy that we look at Super? I've got 2 requests for Super. Let me know in the comments real quick. And while you do that, I've got a bug in my throat. Let's quickly see. Adolfo, good morning to you, my friend. Let's see what else. In too long, Chris Yebo, we're okay. Looking at Super. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. Just give me a sec. I just need to quickly load the chart, the chart if you don't mind. I'll expand it to do that so you can see the side of it and load Super. Okay. So trading wise, I'm not talking hodl bags, guys. I'm talking trading wise. If you look at the buddy indicator, and let me just update. If ever you see that little icon, it means that you're still on the old buddy version. So just update to the latest one. So what I'll do is just take a little sec, and then poops, it will load the latest buddy indicator. So what this is still saying to us is go short, go short, go short, hidden bear, hidden bear, hidden bear. You know, everything is still short on the daily for the buddy. It's orange, so it's still accumulation. So it's not a bear trend. Now, when it's a bear trend, it changes the dynamic. Things really look horrible when it's bear trend, okay? And we're not at that. So you can see even the buddy saying that, listen, the bigger time frames, the oscillators, everything is still okay. We're just retracing, just another accumulation for another run, another accumulation for another run. Okay. Now, price action wise, it becomes really hard as a trader for me because I know that I said I'm not going to look at it from an investment point of view, but the investor in me says that's the zone. Why? Because there was no trading there. Is that little gap there? See, there was a gap there. It jumped back above the gap, and it's testing that range. You know, so that's kind of the area. But I'm not going to let that deter me from looking at what's cooking in now. So I'm just going to park that to the side so you guys can see. So what do we have here on the daily? We've got something that's trending bearish. If I were to scrunch this down a little bit to try to kind of define when demand and supply kicks in on this, the easiest way to do this is just the most recent bullish trend line I can draw. Okay. Then I look at where we break. Then I look at identifying where the big candles are. There's a big candle. There's a big candle, big candle, big candle. A lot of big candles. And then I want to create an axis around those movements because that's where the market is changing its mind. Pivotal moves are happening around that range. So now I'm looking for highs and lows tested. So let's zoom in there. Highs and lows being tested around these big candles. Okay, like that. Once we have these big candles with the highs and the lows kind of testing that range, it gives me a good idea of where demand and supply is. I'm just trying to make sure that I meet up with as many as I can possibly. Okay. And I'm going to extend this line because we're bearish. I'm just going to extend this line to the side. Okay. And that would typically be the axis. Then the upper end would be your supply and the lower end will be your demand. And now that you've got supply and demand, you kind of have an idea of where we're at. So when we're hitting supply, you go short. When we're hitting demand, you go long. And now that we're here, it basically shows that, yes, this thing is breaking trend. So for the same way, now I need to start thinking about, okay, if this is the case, we break trend, where is the area where the most demand and supply is kicking through? Big candles, big candle, big candle. It's a little early, but it's there. Okay, let's adjust this a little bit. As I'm live, then my dogs decide to bark. So if you hear them in the background, guys, bear with me. I'm trading from home. It's one of the perks. And then it's telling me that if this thing wants to continue on in this range and trending, this would be the area where price would kind of want to move on. If it starts breaking, this would be the upper end of a range. So let me just put this as resistance for price. And this would be a potential. We don't have a secondary test yet. So potential support. This is now Wyckoff stuff. So if Wyckoff, if it does this, makes a higher high, comes back, makes a lower low, that's Wyckoff one-on-one. Then I'll know where the support would be. So now that I know that, the argument is, how do I want to trade this? I'm expecting price to at least go to the demand zone. So where we're at now, I'm bearish but trade bullish for the reason that the market needs to retrace. So if I then zoom this into a 4-hour, I haven't looked at any RSI. I don't need to do that just yet. I don't want to overcomplicate things. And I look at this from this point of view. What are we doing? Okay. Price is migrating to the imbalance. Price fell too quickly there. It needs to go to the imbalance. So now I can maybe just switch off buddy just to make the screen a little clearer. And that's the imbalance. So price is going to want to try and capture liquidity there. Once it's there, if there's no bearish signal or hidden bearish divergence, let's load the RSI. You can hold for a higher high. Well, okay. Because there is basically where the pivot is. There's the pivot there. So we're about to get hidden bearish divergence. So very simple. You can trade this thing short. You don't want to see a higher high there. So once it's close enough to make financial sense for you, you can try and get this thing down, and you can probably then trade it back to 36 or 37 cents because it's beginning bullish, but it's still in a range-bound environment. So expect highs to be bearish, lows to be bullish. And that's the simplest way to navigate anything on BTC, okay? I did this everywhere. I mean, if we go and have a look at the analysis for BTC, any of these analysis from the HODL point of view, the rule is very simple. If you're bullish at the bottom and bearish at the top, you get to be right many times. And only once when you're really wrong, it's going to run, but you've already got the long from the bottom of the range. The same there. That's how we identify these spot shorts and spot long positions since we were there at Bitcoin at $16,000. So we've been running this the whole way, and we're going to do exactly the same. Buy zone, long at the bottom of the range. So we're establishing this, looking for that signal with the argument that we want to try and get that short. Hence the fact that yesterday's HODL had a lot of bullish undertone to it, talking about the alts, looking for price to try and get. We didn't look at Hyper in that way. Hyper was the one that got hacked, but you can go watch the stream and look at it for yourself. Okay. The same then for Ethereum in that sense. Ethereum, you can see yet again another divergence. We're trying to reclaim that divergence. Pivot, come on, load. Why are you so slow today? Probably because I'm streaming my screen. Let me just unshare my screen. I'm streaming and there, so I'm like running 3 streams at the moment. So it's now things are getting a little bit better. Strong bullish divergence. We're above the pivot. So ETH in that regard, it's starting to look really, really good. Now, the nice thing is in the Discord, we've got an AI that we've been building for about 3.5 years. by a genius, not by me. He talks to me, tells me what he's doing, and I'm like Googling the words, every second word he's using. And this thing is predicting the models in advance, 8 hours in advance, how the market's going to look and move. Gives you an indication of how successful that model is in the current environment, and then tells you, the master of experts, which is the direction you should consider trading for this. So it's an extremely complicated thing. And from time to time in the Discord, I actually share that as well within the ETH AI account, the second Discord account that I have. Okay, so simple as that. Now, guys, I want to show you this. I'm going to remove my face real quick. This link, I'll copy this link, drop it in the chat for you guys. Support the content, get your Blofin account. But if you do that with this link, you get this special win and spin advantage. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to expand the screen, just play this. So every $10,000 trading volume you do. So if you take one trade, it basically is $10,000. If you're $100 and you 100x or however strong your leverage would be. For every time you hit that volume in trading, you get an opportunity to spin. Now I'm going to pause the screen here. I just want to point out to you guys the prizes. Like a 0.1 of an XRP is useless to me. 1 ETH looks really good. Half a BTC. I pity the guy that gets the good luck. I'm going to win the half a BTC. So every 10K in trading volume, I've got my account and I press my button. And I wait for my prize to kind of kick in there. So guys, go get your Blofin account using this link, the link I just sent in the comments. It will give you access to this little promotion. So every 10K trading volume, you have an opportunity to put some money in your account. Alts have been experiencing a little bit of a bear slump. You know, it's just the reality of things. So, you know, it's an easy way to get some free cash for the next run. There's a lot of guys waiting in the Discord, ready for the next trade, waiting for me to take up the reins. This long is now moving into the sell zone. So guys, consider if you're trading just these simple setups that you need to start looking at going short. Maybe give the RSI a little time to just kind of catch up with everything there, because it's maybe at this given moment a little early, but within the next run, we'll probably hit that 85 pretty soon. And then it's time to go short. Simple as that. There you have it, guys. That's how we trade for a living. That's everything. Guys, you have a lovely day. Thanks for taking the time, sharing, you know, share the content with a friend. Let's get people that's interested in trading on-ramp successfully. I know I always say this, very few actually do this. But for those that do, I really appreciate you. For the rest of you guys, head into the Discord. It's very simple. Once you've got your Blofin account opened with that link, you go to the navigation channel. You click on that little promotion button there. That's the whole thing. And then you claim by sending me your user ID. Okay. And then if you have more than $1,000 deposit, you only need $100 for the win and spin. Okay. But if you have got more than $1,000 in trading capital, you can actually join my private group for a limited time. That thing goes at $1,000 once off. So if you want to just skip the queue and just get in there, that's a once off. You're in there forever. You get all the tools, the buddy, everything you want, all the AI, all the other stuff as well. So there you have it. Okay, guys, have a lovely day. Thanks so much for taking time with me. Just keep it level, keep it sane. Don't let the FOMO and the FOMO guys get you into a new trap. This is probably another bull trap kicking in. I'm bearish until proven wrong by price, not by somebody saying it. Okay, and that's the way you need to look at it. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye-bye.